Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you all had a good New Year's and are starting a 2020 off to the best of your abilities. So I did finally snag a new job, and so now I get to scramble around and try to organize everything before I start next Monday. But as you can see on the screen in front of you, I did manage to pick up one of these multi-tool holders from Lowe's here. It was like eight bucks. So this is the tool holder, as you can see. Overall, it's pretty nice for what you get for $8. I had one kind of like this in my old shop that some of you might remember seeing, and then it started sagging. Is probably because I kind of overweighted it a lot. This one I'm going to try to be a little bit better and keep it somewhat lightweight. But it's nice to have all your screwdrivers and star bits and even your valve lapping compound in the, you got your starter rope, standard wrenches. I'd like to get a metric set of gear wrenches and your tape, and then an old Craftsman wrench there. Let's see. Here's my heater. Very fancy, right? When I got it, I didn't know that it needed there's a little fan underneath this cover, and that wasn't working, so it would turn on and then turn off and kick itself on and off because it would overheat. And then I wondered what was underneath there one day, and there was a fan. So cleaned that up and made that work. I did finally get bolts for the vise, so it's not going nowhere. I'm kind of a fan of not having the handle on here because I can open the drawer and do whatever, and then when I need it, I can just get the handle and tighten it to where I want it. The problem is my handle's not very nice looking, so hopefully I can remedy that at the new job. This is another mess I got to deal with. I'm sure your drawers might look similar, but I did cull through this one to put together the rack there. So that's another job. I do like the storage totes you can get at Harbor Freight for like 10 bucks, but I'm not really fond of how they are. That nut and bolt rack is something else I got for like $20, and it's kind of a catch-all for junk, really. I'd like to get at least all the red ones cleaned out and buy a bunch of nuts and bolts and washers and kind of organize it and have it as bolts, nuts, bolts, and washers, like I said. For the most part, I mean, I still gotta clean some of that up anyway. Video-wise, funding, of course, we'll be able to pull the Scout in here. I finally cleaned out enough to where I could pull my truck in, and I still have quite a bit of room between me and the bench. So hopefully I can pull the Scout in once I buy a gasket set and start going through that and getting it back up and going. Right now it's in kind of winter storage mode. Pulled the battery, ran it till it was out of gas, and then I put in a little bit of Marvel Mystery Oil in with the gas so it would have some kind of lubrication during the winter. But so far winter's been pretty wet, but not cold. So anyway, I'm going to be going through those two drawers, through those two cabinets. I'm not really sold on my grinder being out all the time. I'm kind of more tempted to just use a C-clamp right there when I need it. I don't really use it all that often, and the thing I use the most is just the wire wheel. So I was thinking of attaching that to the scroll saw here. And sorry it's dark because the light above me decided to die. so I have like no light over here anymore. It'll start to light up once it warms up, but I think the ballast in it is shot, so I don't want to buy a new one. I just want to go through the LED way and get it all nice and bright in here, so it's actually nice to be out here instead of kind of dark and dingy looking. So it did go through. I got all my Briggs parts, you know, some Lawn Boy, etc. This is the Mono chainsaw. It has a whole home now. That's another project we got to get to. And I think, oh, what's that? Come on. These are kind of, there it goes. No, that's not it. Oh, hey, I need that. And then we got more parts down here. That's for the blue home light. So lots of parts. We like parts. Parts are nice. Those two are kind of a disaster. I'm kind of wanting to move my Craftsman box there over, maybe behind the lathe, and then I can put in all the gearing and everything that this thing requires. Side gearing. That's pretty much where that is. I haven't bolted it down yet. It does run very smoothly without bolting it down, but I just pretty much need to go through all my drawers and clean up more. That black cabinet is now in the way of the drill press there, so I was either going to move it over or take it down and then utilize more storage for pegboard, but I'll probably just move it over and use it because it's kind of nice to have another cabinet. Other than that, if you guys are tired of standing on concrete, I would recommend picking up some of these mats at Harbor Freight for like $7. They come in packs of 4, and they're pretty nice. And it's nicer to stand on them than the concrete anyway. So, project-wise, I already mentioned the Scout. We have the Mono chainsaw. I have the blue home light chainsaw. I have my riding mower still, which will probably be a spring video, honestly. I do have a Troy-Bilt tiller in my near future, somewhat probably similar to the one I used to have a video on until I sold it, but this one is my grandpa's, so we'll have that. We got Robbie up there. Robbie, he is all hollow, and all of his guts, you could say, are in a coffee can, so that might be kind of an interesting, fun one to go through, but he's kind of a nightmare when it comes to assembling him back together again. Oh, and then we also have the King Olawn Edger that I picked up at the estate sale for $10. I still have that. It was just too good not to get rid of, honestly. So those are the projects we have. So comment below what you would like to see next. And this is all money allowing, because all these kind of require money, except for Robbie. He's just in it for time, really. But until I start getting steady paycheck again, everything's kind of on hold at the moment, gents and gals, maybe. Thank you, new subscribers. We're now at 220. Surprising. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I hope you guys have a good start to your 2020.